So very good morning, future officers. Welcome to EduTap and welcome to another important CT360 series session. So in which we cover the most important GNDSI current affairs from the exam point of view. And let me tell you that these current affairs are really very important for you if you are preparing for RBI, NABARD, SEBI or other banking examinations. So if I'm audible and visible to all of you guys, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can start with the today's session. Let me tell you that today again I am back with the very important topics from the last 2 days of the 4th and 5th of February 2025. I hope that all of you are able to hear me properly. So guys, if yes, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Let me tell you that if you are someone who have still not started his or her preparation from the exam point of view, make sure कि आप अपनी प्रिपरेशन को आज से ही शुरू करें बिकॉज इट इज रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि हम डेली बेसिस पर करंट अफेयर्स को कवर करें. अगर डेली बेसिस पर करेंगे देन ऑब्वियसली इट इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी इजी फॉर यू टू कवर द करंट अफेयर्स फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, राइट? So guys, I hope that yes, everything is fine and let's start with the today's session. And let me tell you guys that in these sessions we cover the most important GA and SI current affairs, which basically includes your GA portion also, where we cover the important current affairs like sports, awards, defense exercises, appointments and other important news articles. Apart from that, the ESI related news articles are also being covered. For example, if there is any scheme in the news, any report in the news or any government initiative which has been recently taken, right? So I hope that these points are very much clear. Let's start with the today's session with the very first news, that is International Big Cat Alliance, which has officially come into force. So guys, recently it has been announced that International Big Cat Alliance, which was being launched by Pradhan Mantri Modi ji in 2023. So now it has finally come into force. And guys, the framework agreement on establishment of International Big Cat Alliance has recently come into force from 23rd of January 2025. ठीक है, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि जो हमारा IBCA और जो उसका सेक्रेटेरिएट है वो एक फुल फ्लेश ट्रीटी बेस्ड इंटर गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बन चुका है एंड इट हैज गॉट अ इंटरनेशनल लीगल एंटाइटी स्टेटस. तो IBCA क्या है, आई विल बी डिस्कसिंग दैट इन अ वेरी डिटेल्ड मैनर विद ऑल ऑफ यू. बट बिफोर दैट लेट मी टेल यू कि 5 कंट्रीज हैं टोटल. देयर आर 5 कंट्रीज व्हिच हैव डिपॉजिटेड द इंस्ट्रूमेंट that we are ratifying, accepting or approving this particular framework agreement of the IBCA. So total 5 countries ने यहाँ पर अपना approval दिया है. Let me tell you that around 27 countries have consented that they want to join and they will be signing up this particular agreement. But till now 5 countries have ratified it and these 5 countries include Republic of Nicaragua, Kingdom of Eswatini, Republic of India, Federal Republic of Somalia and Republic of Liberia. ठीक है, so guys, it is very important for us to remember the name of these 5 countries जिन्होंने की ये particular agreement को ratify किया है, approve किया है. ठीक है, so IBCA हमने सभी देखा कि yes, it has started come into force on 23rd January 2025. And what exactly IBCA is all about? जैसा कि आप देख सकते हैं कि it is the alliance of the big cats. What exactly these big cats are? So we will be discussing that also in the detailed manner. Let me tell you that there are total 7 cats जिनकी कंजर्वेशन के लिए ये पर्टिकुलर अलायंस किया गया था, राइट? और ये अलायंस कब किया जाता है? हमेशा किसी न किसी मेजर ऑब्जेक्टिव के साथ. एंड व्हाट वाज द मेजर ऑब्जेक्टिव हियर? द ऑब्जेक्टिव वाज वेरी इजी, दैट इज टू कंजर्व द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ दीज बिग कैट्स. ओके, so now let's move on to the IBCA, which was launched in 2023 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji when he was commemorating the 50 years of Project Tiger. ठीक है, so this IBCA aims to conserve 7 big cat species. That is, first one is tiger, जो हमने बात की कि Project Tiger की 50 years की commemoration पे इसको launch किया था. So guys, when was exactly the Project Tiger was been launched by the government of India? Basically, the Project Tiger was been launched to conserve the population of the tigers in our nation. Okay, and it was launched in 1973. And which Indian state is having the maximum number of tigers? That is Madhya Pradesh. So what exactly, apart from the tiger, what exactly are the 6 big cat species which are the part of International Big Cat Alliance? That is lion, leopard, snow leopard, cheetah, jaguar and puma. So it is really very important for you that you are remembering the name of all these 7 cat species because it can be directly asked in the exam. ठीक है, तो IBCA को कब लॉन्च किया था? 2023 में. It has come into force in 2025. It basically works for the conservation of 6 big cat species. What exactly these are? Tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, cheetah, jaguar and puma. I hope this is really clear to all of you. Now moving ahead. So this IBCA की अगर हम बात करें तो it was established by the government of India through the National Tiger Conservation Authority, right? Under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. तो NTCA के अंडर इसको एस्टैब्लिश किया गया था. इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है कि हम ग्लोबल लेवल पर कोलैबोरेट करें in order to conserve the population of these big cats, right? Then we are really required to consolidate our resources for successful conservation practices. तो guys, जो भी conservation practices across the world follow की जा रही हैं तो उनको हम सक्सेसफुली बाकी कंट्रीज में भी इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे और एक लार्जर लेवल पर उनको एग्जीक्यूट किया जाएगा. नाउ द थर्ड पॉइंट इज फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन ऑल दीज पार्ट्स ऑफ अलायंसेस. जब भी ऐसे कोई अलायंस होता है जहां पर हमारे कॉमन ऑब्जेक्टिव है वर्ल्ड लेवल पर, तो वहां एक जरूरी चीज है फंडिंग सपोर्ट की. तो फंडिंग सपोर्ट भी यहां पर मेंबर कंट्रीज को दिया जाएगा फॉर द कंजर्वेशन ऑफ दीज बिग कैट्स. Then there will be work towards halting population decline. Guys, we all know that the population of these big cats are declining, and that is the reason that we are thinking about conserving them. And that is why IBCA was been announced by the government of India. Let me tell you that the Project Tiger, which was launched in 1973, it was also launched as we saw that the tiger population was declining in our nation. That's why Project Tiger was been launched by government in 1973, right? So these are the primary objectives and conservation strategies under this particular IBCA. क्या किया जाएगा? ग्लोबल लेवल पे कोलैबोरेट करेंगे, सक्सेसफुल प्रैक्टिसेस को कंसोलिडेट किया जाएगा एंड एग्जीक्यूट किया जाएगा. देन फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट विल बी प्रोवाइडेड एंड वर्क विल बी डन टुवर्ड्स in order to reduce this particular trend of declining population of these big cats. Absolutely right. So very good morning to all the people again. So we are already done with the very important topic of the today's session, that is IBCA, ठीक है, which has come into force in 2025. Let's move on to the next part. तो अभी हमने बात की big cat species की, अब चलते हैं white tiger की तरफ, because recently Central Zoo Authority has approved that the India's first white tiger breeding center will be set up in the मध्य प्रदेश. और मध्य प्रदेश का रेवा डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर इसको सेटअप किया जाएगा. There is a प्लेस दैट इज गोविंदगढ़. तो गोविंदगढ़ के अंदर रेवा डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर यहां पर इंडिया का फर्स्ट व्हाइट टाइगर ब्रीडिंग सेंटर विल बी सेटअप. अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, वेन एवर द थिंग इज टेकिंग प्लेस फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम, इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू रिमेंबर दैट. ओके, so guys, when we talk about this part, let me tell you that earlier the nodal approval of the government of India was being given to this particular breeding center in 2011, and right now again a green signal has been given by Central Zoo Authority now for the setting up of this India's first white breeding center. ठीक है, तो अगर हम बात करते हैं इसकी, इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ रिवाइज्ड मास्टर प्लान फॉर महाराजा मर्तंड सिंह जुदेव व्हाइट टाइगर सफारी. लेट मी टेल यू दैट इट वाज बीन नेम्ड आफ्टर द महाराज ऑफ द रेवा डिस्ट्रिक्ट. ठीक है, जो लास्ट महाराज थे रेवा डिस्ट्रिक्ट के, उनके नाम पर इसको रखा गया था व्हेन ही बेसिकली आइडेंटिफाइड वन ऑफ द व्हाइट टाइगर्स इन द फॉरेस्ट एंड ही नेम्ड दैट एज अ मोहन, एंड इसीलिए इसका नाम महाराज मर्तंड सिंह जुदेव व्हाइट टाइगर सफारी के नाम से भी रखा गया है. ठीक है, तो इंडिया फर्स्ट व्हाइट टाइगर ब्रीडिंग सेंटर कहां होगा? मध्य प्रदेश के रेवा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में होगा. आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू दैट मध्य प्रदेश इज आल्सो द स्टेट व्हिच इज हैविंग द मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ टाइगर पॉपुलेशन. ओके, नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट न्यूज आर्टिकल, दैट इज IICA एंड CMAI साइंस MOU. तो गाइस, इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स ने कार्बन मार्केट एसोसिएशन ऑफ इंडिया के साथ एक MOU साइन किया है. तो गाइस, अगर हम बात करते हैं कार्बन मार्केट की, ये क्या है? कार्बन मार्केट इज बेसिकली द मार्केट वेयर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सेल्स और परचेजेस द कार्बन क्रेडिट्स, राइट? सो अभी कार्बन क्रेडिट क्या है? फॉर एग्जांपल, देयर इज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन A, राइट, और यहां पर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है B. लेट अस टेक एन एग्जांपल दैट जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन B है, द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन B इज emitting so much of the greenhouse gases, right? So it is not balancing the environment. But apart from that, there is a organization A, ठीक है, which is not emitting such amount of greenhouse gas emissions, and it is basically carbon negative in the nature because it is basically reducing the amount of carbon. So basically what happens is these organizations this organization will be having the carbon credit, right? So it can give this carbon credit to the organization B. Organization B will be purchasing this carbon credit from the organization A. So ये जो transaction है, it takes place in the carbon market only. And why exactly we are doing this? In order to create an ecological balance, and apart from that, it is very important for us to reduce this greenhouse gas emissions. As we all know that India is having the target of becoming net zero carbon emission free country by 2070. Okay? So I hope this is clear to all of you. So apart from that, the other important thing is that we want to decarbonize our environment. That is basically, अगर हम बात करें इस MOU के aim का भी, तो it is going to strengthen the India's carbon market and advance decarbonization efforts. What is the decarbonization? Right? Decarbonization means reducing the amount of carbon dioxide in the environment. Right? So that is what is the decarbonization effort. तो इसी को strengthen करने के लिए और इंडिया की कार्बन मार्केट को बेटर करने के लिए ये MOU साइन किया गया है, under which they will be providing different training programs. Joint research will be taken that how you can do this part. Then conferences. It is going to facilitate a dialogue between all the stakeholders where they can sit together and they can identify the problems that they are facing in executing this particular part. Then low carbon industrial solutions will be provided and discussed as a part of this particular alliance. Right? So this is the MOU between IICA and CMAI which has been recently signed for the decarbonization efforts and to strengthen India's carbon market. I hope that this news article is clear, guys. Now moving on to the next news article which is related to the sports. And the first news article here is the Hockey India League 24-25. And guys, let me tell you that Karachi Red Bengal Tigers has defeated Hyderabad Tufans in the finals of the Hockey India League 24-25, where Jugraj Singh has scored the hat-trick of goals in order to make his team win this particular final and won the title as well. So what is the name of that particular team which has won this? That is Karachi Red Bengal Tigers, which has defeated Hyderabadi Tufans in this particular event. Now the next news article, that is Braille-enabled Indian Constitution has been recently launched. So guys, in order to mark 75 years of the Constitution, a Braille-enabled version of the Indian Constitution has been launched. So basically they are trying to empower the citizens who are blind or semi-blind so that they can also get to know about the rights by reading the Constitution. That's why this Braille version has been launched, right? Now, whenever such kind of thing has been launched, we have to always make sure that we are covering the name of organizations which have come up with that particular initiative. अब क्या नाम है इनका? इनका नाम है Shankar Eye Hospital and the CII Young Indians. So Shankar Eye Hospital and CII Young Indians of Bengaluru have together launched this particular initiative. Okay? And hence it will be empowering the people who are blind or have low vision by enabling them to read and understand their rights and responsibilities as the Indian citizens. Right? अगर हम बात करेंगे इस Braille की, तो Braille is a tactile script with the help of which these people who are blind or semi-blind, they can read. Right? Whatever it is been presented on this particular board in terms of fonts, तो उनके लिए it is the group of 6 dots, and with the combination of these 6 dots they basically write all these things in that Braille tactile script. And guys, let me tell you that in the month of January we have also celebrated the World Braille Day. Can anybody tell me that on which date we celebrate the World Braille Day? So this Braille word has been come from the Louis Braille. Louis Braille, who was the person who has invented this Braille tactile script, right? So what exactly is the date on which we celebrate this day? 4th of January. Every year 4th January we celebrate the World Braille Day. I hope this is clear, and I hope that you will be able to retain this information as well. Now moving to the next news article, that is from the defense exercises. So exercises Ekuverin, which is being conducted alternatively in India and Maldives, has commenced now. This time it is taking place in Maldives. Last year it was conducted in the Uttarakhand. Let me tell you guys that the 13th edition of this exercise, in this, first of all, whenever you are covering any defense exercise, you have to remember that what is the name of exercise, what are the name of countries participating in the exercise, and where the exercise is going to be taking place. So let me tell you here that India and Maldives are participating in the Ekuverin exercise, and it will be conducted in Maldives, right? So this will be focusing on counter-insurgency, counter-terrorism. It will also be testing the interoperability of the two forces together, right? So this is something which is required to be covered here, right? So please remember Ekuverin between India and Maldives. Next news article, guys, a very proud moment for India as Sunita Williams has break the spacewalk record, right? So Sunita Williams, who is an Indian origin astronaut, has created a new record of total spacewalking time by any woman across the world. Let me tell you that earlier this record was being held by Peggy Whitson, the American astronaut. The astronaut Peggy Whitson. She was holding this particular record as she did the spacewalking of 60 hours in 20 minutes. But now this record has been, new record has been created by Sunita Williams of the total time of 62 hours and 6 minutes. So make sure कि आप इसको याद रखें, 62 hours 6 minutes is the total time of spacewalk that Sunita Williams has done. So guys, what exactly this spacewalk is? Basically, the objectives of these spacewalks are to removing degraded radio communications hardware and collecting samples. So let me tell you that as we all know that Sunita Williams and his colleague astronaut, that is Butch Wilmore, they are stranded in the International Space Station, right? Since June 2024, they are stranded there. So basically, as a part of their mission on the International Space Station, they started the spacewalk recently, and they did the spacewalk of around 5 hours, and it was that time only when Sunita Williams have created this record. And as far as the record says, it was the 9th spacewalk of Sunita Williams. So this particular news article we have covered in a very detailed manner, guys. I hope that you will be able to retain it from the exam point of view. Sunita Williams has become the woman who is having the maximum timeline for doing the spacewalk in the space, right? Now moving on to the next news article, that is on EduTap. So Iran has revealed a new ballistic missile, that is EduTap, which is having a range of around maximum 1700 kilometers, right? So what is the name of this new ballistic missile? That is EduTap. Which country has launched this? Iran has launched this particular ballistic missile. Okay. Next news article. So Aga Khan, the leader of Shia Ismaili Muslims, has passed away recently. So guys, His Highness Prince Karim Al-Husseini, the Aga Khan IV and the 49th hereditary Imam of Shia Ismaili Muslims, has passed away recently. By his followers, he was being considered as a direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad, and he has passed away recently. He was known for his so much of the philanthropic activities which he used to do during his lifetime, right? Let me tell you that he was being announced as a successor by Aga Khan III when this person was only 20 years old and he was doing his graduation, right? So guys, I hope this news article is clear. Just the name is required for you to cover. Now moving on to the next news article. So we are always required to cover if there is a change in the head of any particular country or the big organizations. So here we are talking about the Belgium. So Belgium has got the new prime minister, and the name of the prime minister is Bart de Wever, right? Who was sworn in as the new prime minister of Belgium, and he will be replacing Alexander De Croo, who was serving as the caretaker prime minister since June 2024. So June 2024 के अंदर वहाँ elections हुए थे, but now finally they have created a coalition government in the Belgium. Belgium, अगर हम Belgium की बात करते हैं, what is the capital of Belgium, guys? It is Brussels. So जब भी आप किसी भी news article को cover करें, just try to cover some static portion of the same as well from the exam point of view. Okay. Now let's move on to the next news article, that is Chaman Arora. So guys, Chaman Arora has been awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award 24, and he has been awarded this award posthumously, right? So he has been awarded this award for Ek Hor Ashwathama, for his short story Ek Hor Ashwathama, and it is been written in Dogri language by the late Chaman Arora, and he has been recognized for his work, and he will be given the Sahitya Akademi Award for year 2024. So who has been given the award? For what purpose he has been given the award? क्या award का नाम है? All these dimensions we are required to remember from exam point of view. I hope guys that all of you are really able to understand all these particular news articles, right? So guys, we are done with the today's news articles. We have around and around covered 11 news articles in the today's session, and we will be coming up more in the upcoming sessions. Do not worry about it. So now it's the time for the questions. I always tell you that just covering these current affairs is not all sufficient from the exam point of view, because it is also important for you to cover the MCQs, because at the end of the day you are required to solve MCQs in the exam. तो प्रैक्टिस करना काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. प्रैक्टिस नहीं करेंगे तो एग्जाम में आप देखेंगे कि काफी सारे ऑप्शंस ऐसे हैं जो ऑलरेडी जिसके बारे में आप कुछ ना कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन जानते हैं, एंड देन इट विल रियली बिकम डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू टू आइडेंटिफाई द राइट आंसर्स. Right? So now it's your time to tell me in the chat box that what exactly is the right answer to these questions, and the first answer question is here on your screen. So my dear friends, please try to give me the right answer to this particular question. The first question is, which team has won the Men's Hockey India League 2024-2025? It is a halwa question for all of you, right? Very easy question. The right answer is Shirachi Red Bengal Tigers, which has defeated Hyderabad Tufans to win this particular title. Absolutely right. Now moving to the next news article. To mark 75 years of Constitution, Braille-enabled version of Indian Constitution was been launched. And we are required to identify the two organizations which have collaborated for the launch of this particular Braille Constitution. So what is the name? You can see here that Shankar Eye Hospital and CII Young Indians are the two organizations which have together launched this particular initiative, that is of the Braille Constitution, and hence option A is the right answer. Again, so I can see in the chat box that Abid Gul has given me the right answer. Well done, Abid, and keep it up. Let's move on to the next news article, that is about the 67th Grammy Awards. So this question is from the previous session. Let us see that who among you is able to answer this question. So at the 67th Grammy Award, Indian origin vocalist and entrepreneur won the prestigious award in the Best New Age Ambient or Chant Album category for her album Dash, which blends ancient chants with world music. Can anybody tell me the right answer to this question? We have already covered this part in the previous session. So it was Chandrika Tandon, the elder sister of Indra Nui, who is the former CEO of PepsiCo. So Chandrika Tandon has won this award for her album Triveni. Right? That is the right answer. Next question, guys. So consider the following statements regarding the framework agreement on establishment of International Big Cat Alliance. So I told you that Big Cat Alliance is an important topic for us, right? So here 3 statements are being given to you and you have to identify the correct statements. So kindly quickly tell me the right answer. To the previous question, Vatsal and Abid again have answered the question correctly. Well done, my dear friends. So when we talk about such kind of question, the first thing that we need to identify is that what is the demand of the question. The demand is to identify the correct statement. The next thing is what is the topic? IBCA is a topic. The third thing is we need to focus on the keywords which are mentioned in this particular statement. Now what are the keywords? So that is IBCA, full-fledged treaty-based intergovernmental or international organization, and कब ये आए, come into force in 23rd January 2025. Absolutely right. Second statement, IBC Secretariat is not yet recognized as an international legal entity. I told you that it has been now recognized as international legal entity, so this statement is incorrect. Third statement, 5 countries. So do you remember those 5 countries which have submitted their approval and ratification for the IBCA, right? So these 5 countries include Republic of India, who have deposited the instruments of ratification acceptance as per the framework agreement. So absolutely right, 5 countries hain aur usme one of them is India as well. So third statement is also correct. Right answer will be option B, that is 1 and 3. So in this manner we are required to solve the question in the examination, right? So make sure always that yes, you are covering these particular questions in such kind of manner. Now let's move on to the next news article. The next question. So IBCA, just give me a second. Okay, so this is the next question, guys. India's first white tiger breeding center has been approved by the Central Zoo Authority in which district of Madhya Pradesh? So Madhya Pradesh ke andar we have already discussed after covering the IBCA that the India's first white tiger breeding center has recently been given green signal by the Central Zoo Authority, and it will be created in Madhya Pradesh. And what is the name of the district? Rewa, and the place is Govindgarh. So Rewa, option C is the right answer to this question. Next question. Dash has set a new record for total spacewalking time by a woman with a total of 62 hours and 6 minutes, and it is going to surpass the previous record of 60 hours and 21 minutes. So guys, now you have to identify the name of the 2 people. The first person is the person who has created a new record. The second person who was already holding this record, and this record has been broken, right? So what exactly is the name? Quickly tell me in the chat box. So it is basically Sunita Williams who has created this record, as she did the spacewalking for 62 hours and 6 minutes, and she has break the record of Peggy Whitson, right? I hope this is clear. So option A is the right answer to this question. I hope that all the people are really able to answer the question. Well done, Samadya, Vatsal, Abid. You guys are rocking in the today's session, as you have given to the right answer to all these particular questions. Well done. Now guys, it is a time for the homework question, and homework question is basically in order to make you analyze that whether you are able to retain all the important information or not, right? And if you are someone who was not able to answer the question of IBCA, there is another question for all of you, which is on the International Big Cat Alliance. You have to tell me here the right answer, right? The statements, you need to identify the correct statements. See, the last question was basically on the latest development of the IBCA, but this question is about the static portion of IBCA. That is International Big Cat Alliance, kab launch hua, what is the name of those 7 big cats? So all these things will have been asked in this particular question. Make sure that you are answering me this question in the comment section. Now if we talk about the homework question from the previous session, in the previous session the question was on the World Employment Social Outlook Trends 2025. You were required to identify the statements which were correct here, and here the right answer was option B, that is 1, 3 and 4, as statement number 2 was incorrect, right? So here when we talk about the star performers of the previous session, so who are these star performers? These are those people who answered the question correctly to this question. And if you also want your name to be presented here, make sure that you are giving me your answers to the homework question of today's session in the comment section. So guys, here you can see that we are having Lofiking, Ashish, Srijal, Kinpache, Mitra, Arnav, Mansi, Aditya, Vijal, Verma, Suraj, Gururaj, Salil, Jesse, all these people are the star performers of the previous session. And who will be the star performer of the today's session? Can you guys tell me? So we will see that in the next session when you will be answering the question of homework question in the comment section, right? And guys, if you're still new to the YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And apart from that, if you want to access the PDF of the session for your revision purposes, you can always download the PDF from our Telegram channel. So Telegram channel को join कैसे करना है? There is a link in the description of this session. उस पर जाइए, उसको क्लिक कीजिए, Telegram channel join कीजिए और वहां से PDF को आप access कर सकते हैं. Let me tell you that वहां पर हमारे बाकी के sessions का PDF भी आपको available मिलेगा. Okay? So I hope guys that this is very much clear to all of you and you guys have really enjoyed this particular session. और कोई डाउट है अगर आपका रिगार्डिंग द टुडे सेशन गाइस, प्लीज फील फ्री टू आस्क योर डाउट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. आई विल बी रियली हैप्पी टू आंसर योर क्वेरीज. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, अगर आपकी कोई ऐसी क्वेरी है रिलेटेड टू योर गाइडेंस, ठीक है, और या फिर आपको कोई बाद में क्वेरी आती है, तो आप हमें कमेंट सेक्शन के साथ साथ आप हमें ईमेल आईडी पर भी कमेंट कर सकते हैं, ईमेल आईडी पर भी मेल शेयर कर सकते हैं, एंड यू कैन शेयर योर क्वेरीज on hello@edutap.co.in. Apart from that, if you want some mentorship guidance from us, you can always call us at 8146207241. Okay, so my dear friends, that was all from the today's session. I am now waiting for your responses in the chat box कि किसी की कोई भी query है तो please feel free to ask your queries. Otherwise, we will be concluding this particular session. Because it is always really very important for us to cover, to first of all see that what kind of current affairs we are required to cover from exam point of view. The next thing is, what are the different dimensions we are required to cover from that particular current affair. The third thing is, what is the fact and figure that we are required to cover from that particular current affair. The fourth thing is, what is the right approach of covering the current affair. The fifth thing is the MCQs, solving the MCQs. So basically all these 5 objectives are being covered in these particular sessions, right? So make sure that you are always attending these sessions on time. Every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 7 AM in the morning, we come up with the CT360 series session in which we cover the most important current affairs from the exam point of view. Okay? So my dear friends, it is really important, and if you will be following these sessions, again it is going to help you all in your preparation for your regulatory bodies exams as well as your other banking examinations as well. So I can see in the chat box that there are no more queries then, so I think that it is really good time to conclude this particular session. So guys, I will coming up with such more sessions. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy learning.